So here we are, round 2 of the JSRA British Championships, and we're at a rather cloudy and slightly breezy Crosby in Liverpool. It's a very, very exciting day. The course, it's an amazingly fast one, and today we've got a great day's racing ahead of us.
Yeah, no, so it's a really fast course out there, so should be a lot of overtaking, a lot of fast corners as well,
Yeah, it's wide open. Picking where you are on the grid is always important. Timing the equaliser, that'll come into play at some point during the race, and picking splits throughout the race.
I'm snapping at Kev Pope's heels in there, ski lights in there. I've got a few snapping behind me. It's looking quite good.
There's a good class field, and there's probably one of any one of 5 or 6 riders that can win.
Yeah, it's good. I'm doing okay. I'm sitting second behind James at the minute, so some good results this weekend should do me well.
So the MC for the weekend is with a stumper. What a brilliant place.
Hi Rob, this is great. Crosby Lakeside, the biggest body of water we race on in the whole season.
That's a massive start line, isn't it? I mean, what, 3.5 miles across to the other side of the ocean?
It's to the moon and back. The whole shot lap, they go off, and it's around 11-12 seconds before they hit the first turn.
That's a lot of time going flat out, isn't it?
We call it an engine breaker.
I'm not surprised. So let's have a look at the course itself. We know it's really, really big, but also there's a lot of wind around today. The clouds, you know, mixed bag. Sometimes it's bright, sometimes it isn't. There was a fair bit of rain yesterday, but it can be quite bumpy out there, can't it?
Yes, it can, Rob. The problem we've got here, it's such a big body of water, and it's right on the Mersey. So we've got wind to deal with because it chops the water up, and if the jet skis are on choppy water, they come out the water, so they lose drive. So it makes for great racing.
Now, what about later on in the day, or later on in the weekend, should we say as well? When it's bumpy, surely physical strength is going to come into it.
With such a large course and all the elements against the riders, this is a weekend for the real fitness freaks.
Absolutely.
The guys that are fit, who haven't necessarily got the fastest ski, could come out on top this weekend.
So it's very, very even really then, because any advantage in the machine is actually lost if you've got that superior strength.
It can be. You'll see in the latter part of the last 2 or 3 laps of a race, you'll see riders tiring, but you'll see other riders coming into their own because they've got the strength.
This is one of our featured races, the Ski GP and Ski Veterans, and there's a great lineup in this one. It's sounding pretty hectic. The whistle is blown and they're off. And let's have a look now at Jason Young.
Richie Gilbert got a flyer on the outside.
Big race this one. We have Jason Young, 88, Danny Mace, 15, Richard Gilbert, 85, Lee Stone, 133, Adam Lee, 27, Kenny Griffiths, 18, Michael Gilbert, 285, Graham Leach, 59, Aaron Cantwell, 11, Luke Packham, 333, James Bushell in his 158, and that lady again, Chloe Marsh, on the number 10. And let's have a look as he comes under the arch for the first time, around the hairpin in front of us, and it is that man, Jason Young. He's immensely strong in this class. There's Richard Gilbert.
That looks like Danny Mace in third. Interestingly, Graham Leach is riding the first Kawasaki SXR to come in the country, the new 2017 model. It was picked up from France only yesterday and brought all the way up here to Liverpool for this weekend.
Well, he's pedalling it quite well at the moment, bearing in mind it's a brand new machine. Graham's, what, 4th, possibly 5th there at the moment?
He's doing well. The machine hasn't been set up for racing yet. It's just come straight out the showroom.
So talking to Jason earlier, we see him in the distance now as he nears that log jump, and chatting to him earlier, we were just talking about how easy that last race was for him, and he said it's all about getting in front at the beginning. Once you're there, just a case of holding on and making sure no one's nipping at your heels. And of course, last time up at Boston, we saw that he did have a scrap, but today it looks like he's going to have this to himself at the moment. He's got such a massive amount of space between him there and Richard Gilbert. Oh, what have we got going on here? This looks like a bit of a problem. This is Adam Lee on the 27 boat. He's not looking happy. He's staying in the game, but clearly there's a bit of a problem there. He's not the fastest in the world there.
I think he's just run out of steam. There's nothing wrong with that ski. It sounded absolutely fine. I think he's just run out. It's the end of the weekend and he's got nothing left in the tank.
There's number 3, Danny Mace. Let's count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 seconds behind him, about to lap third place if he can get on with it, is Jason Young. Absolutely flying yet again.
I think when we see Jason come back under the tower, he'll be in front of Danny Mace, but they're on the last lap now. Jason Young's taking the white flag, so Jason is on his last lap.
And there he is. This is the leader by, I'm going to say it, an absolute country mile. Jason Young, what an absolutely superb performance. So looking at the championship standings for the Ski GP class at the end of round 2, we see Jason Young at the top of the table, yet to lose a race this season in this class. It's going to take something special to stop him taking this year's title. In second, we have Danny Mace on 303 points, with Richard Gilbert, who, despite having had an off this weekend, takes third place with 264. Well, Jason, we meet again for all the right reasons. Well done.
Yeah, I'm pleased for that. It was a good win, that, so very pleased with it.
It wasn't just a win, that was an absolute domination, wasn't it? I mean, you lapped all the way up to second place.
Yeah, once we got a little bit of lead, put the foot down and tried to pull a big lap as we could, and it worked for us.
You've been doing this a long time, the competitive spirit's still clearly there.
Yeah, never lose it, never lose it.
But what next? When are you going to get some competition?
I think we're going to the Austrian European round in July, so we're looking forward to that. A lot of fast European races, world champs, and we'll see how I can do out there.
Brilliant. Well done today.
Thanks very much. Cheers.
So we heard previously about the equipment that you need to start racing, and obviously there is one major thing that you need, and that is a boat itself. And we've got a couple here. Graham, you're going to talk me through basically how they work and what they are. So this is a ski.
Yeah, this is a stand-up ski, a Celdo ski as we call it. It's a 700cc Yamaha, this one. It's got a steering system. You need a lanyard to operate it. That drops into a safety switch. You've got a throttle, steering left and right, and moves the nozzle at the back.
And it is as simple as that. Literally, you stand up on it, lift up, turn, throttle. No brakes.
No brakes. This actually doesn't do anything apart from when you stand up, it alters the height. It's all in the steering and all in the throttle, no brakes.
And the way the steering works on this, you can lean as well a little bit like a bike.
Like a bike, yeah.
As you turn that way, on the back of the machine,
it turns the nozzle, it alters a jet of water to the left and to the right, and with no power it doesn't turn, so you need power on to produce the jet of water from the engine, and it turns it left and right, and it moves the back of the boat.
So, talk to me about the difference. This is a stand-up, and this is a sit-down, and this is a runabout.
This is a sport boat, so single-seater sport boat. This is a 800cc, I believe it is, Yamaha Blaster 3. Exactly the same. It's got a steering system, it's got a throttle, it's got a start-stop switch, no brakes.
And the significant difference is just that you stand up on that, sit down on that, but the mechanics are all exactly the same.
Exactly the same, yeah.
There we go. So, that's the boat. We know what safety equipment I need. Next time, I'm going to get out on the water and see if I can put one of these and point it in the right direction. So we've got a great race coming up now, and this is the ski lights, and it's a fantastic lineup, isn't it?
It really is, Rob. We've got Kevin Pope, 62 years old. If you remember why Boston, he absolutely trounced the competition in all three motos. But this morning in Moto 2, Jason Young took him on and won.
Well, it was a massive battle between Jason and with Kevin last time, wasn't it? And we spoke to Jason earlier, and he's desperate to try and put that right this time. And you know, it's a very different course today, so it's a lot bigger. And my money is on the fitter, stronger man today, because just the size of the venue. The wily old fox, he did it last time, but it was a bit tighter.
He did, and I was a bit disappointed that Richard Gilbert didn't put on a threat as well. I mean, he's a really talented racer, but this weekend something's not right with Richard. I don't know what, but the strength doesn't seem there.
So there we are, that is it. They're lining up now. Let's find out what's going to happen.
We'll go for 10 minutes, then hold your line, keep going every lap of the race.
And they start. And this is the important bit. The start itself, the holding the motors ready. They're watching for the light. And they're off.
That was a good start, Rob.
Kevin Pope, look at that. He is flying. He's got a great line there. Not sure that Jason Young got a brilliant line out of that. And this is where it gets very difficult for us, isn't it, Thumper? Because it's very hard to see what is happening. They go up to the first corner, they take a right. It is clearly Kevin Pope in the lead at the moment. However, they're still on a split, so we won't know until we see them come around the corner.
We've already got a retirement, Rob. The retirement's 333 Luke Packham. Looks like he's trying to get his boat going again.
He wasn't the man with the problem, was he, earlier?
No, he wasn't. That's what happens on the line.
Let's have a look at what's going on with the racing. As we look now, it's the number 10 boat, Chloe Marsh in the lead, 88 afterwards. Jason Young. That is impressive.
That's a tremendous start from Chloe Marsh. We were talking about Jason Young and Phil Pope, and then she snuck up behind the pair of them and took the whole shot.
So this looks like somebody in difficulty now, and this is the number 28 boat.
That's
Jay Griffiths.
Jay Griffiths on the 28 boat. Looks like he's got a problem.
Sounds like a misfire there.
Yeah, he's retiring.
So let's have a look back in the action now, and we saw to begin with it was Chloe Marsh, but coming over the jump now on lap 2, we've got Jason Young. He's overtaken Chloe, and he's got a reasonable distance ahead of everybody. We just see as he comes around the yellow buoy there, leaning in over the finish line for the second time. And no sign of Richard Gilbert. We were speaking about him earlier, thought he might be up there on the pace.
He's out of sorts today. He's definitely out of sorts. In fact, here he comes.
And here he is, taking up the rear at the moment, Richard Gilbert.
In fact, Jason Young is making a mockery of what we said before, Rob, because we were asking the question, will he be able to take Kev Pope on again? He's beaten him once today. Would he beat him for a second time? Kev Pope leading in the championship, but Jason Young's just come out and answered all the questions.
Well, I'm afraid I did say it before, Thumper. My money is on the stronger man, and today it's all about hanging on in there, isn't it? This is a big course. The race time, 10 minutes, you know what, that's the same wherever they go. But when you look at the conditions, the size of the course, and it's a course of two halves as well, because half of it is twisty, half of it is just wide open and flat out.
Well, dare I say it, Rob, it's the answer from a champion. It's what you'd expect from somebody like Jason Young. If you get beaten, what do you do? Do you go in the corner and cry about it, or do you come out hard?
Let's have a look at the battle for second place now, see if there's any difference. We see Chloe going through. We see Kevin, and by the huge clock in his head, I reckon that's 4 seconds, so we may have pulled back a second there. And here it is, the checkered flag then, and Jason Young comes through in the lead, and that will be another win for him.
What a win. That was an absolute stonking performance.
Absolutely incredible. Chloe Marsh coming in second there, and she's managed to hold off Kevin Pope in third. Let's take a look at how this weekend's results affect the championship standings. I said at the start of this weekend that the course suited the stronger riders, and that shows Jason Young replacing Kevin Pope at the top of the table with 327 points. Kevin sits in second place with 303 points, and there's a great battle for third with Danny Mace and Chloe Marsh separated by just 1 point. Jason, you made that look easy.
It wasn't easy as it looks. It's towering out there in that stocker.
How important was that opening corner, that start?
Very important. I didn't get the whole shot. Chloe got a flyer start, and I come right behind her, and she took the green split, and I thought I'll try the blue first time, and I just had a cracking run through the blue and managed to get the lead straight away in the first lap. So.
And that was it?
That was it, yeah.
History after
Yeah.
that. You made just a massive amount of space between you and second.
Yeah, I just tried to put as much space as I could just to try and get, if I made a mistake, at least there was a bit of gap there for me to recover. I just tried to put as much gap as I could between us.
Let's talk about the course at the top end. Green or blue, which is your favourite?
Green's my favourite, but I think blue's a slightly bit quicker, but it's a bit tighter towards the end.
It was noticeable actually that a lot of riders were going blue.
Blue is tough because you get the chop from both sides of the water coming into there, so you've got to watch it sometimes, a few errors, but it worked for us in the better.
Chloe, great performance there. Well done, you held Kevin off.
Yeah, I did. It's a hard race. He's normally up top with his fast ski, but yeah, it's been a good race. It's a flat out course, so it's tiring, but I'm happy with that result.
What about the strength towards the end of that race? Was that hard?
You're so tired. Everything's just so full on speed, and it's so windy and choppy. It's just everything's so draining. I don't think I thought I was going to drop my arms off at that last bit.
But brilliant, you've got there. Second
Yeah.
place, that was fantastic. What does that do for championship points for you?
I'm not sure without looking, but I think I'll be about third-ish overall now. I think I was fourth overall before this week, and I've had a couple of good results this weekend, so hopefully it's bunched me up a bit.
One of the most important parts of any race is, of course, the start. And we're going to have a chat about exactly how important that is now, because a lot of the time, whoever you see getting into the first corner in the lead, you know, they've got a massive advantage. So let's talk about the start line first. They're all in a straight line. How do they choose their positions on that start line?
Well, first of all, Rob, they what we call pre-grid, so they pick a disc with a number on it and they get to pick where they want to go. all the riders want to take the inside line. They want to have the inside at the hole shot, so they're heading towards the hole shot. They're going to turn left or right. They want to be on the inside.
And that's the shortest possible route
Yep.
from A to B. So bog standard science, shortest route from A to B, that's going to be your quickest. However, there are potential other factors as well. Who's going to be on which side of you, whether somebody's got a faster machine, what the weather's like, etc., etc. And also let's talk about those machines too, because when we look at a ski and when we look at a runabout start, they're very different, aren't they?
They are.
Rider positioning is massively different.
Yeah, on the stand-up skis, because they're smaller, lighter, the guys have got to get the weight at the back so that they can fill the pump full of water. Without that water, they don't get any drive, and it's drive that they need to get that whole shot lap.
Let's have a look at another bog standard of mechanics and particularly racing, and that is power to weight ratio. And I'm going to pick one person in particular who always starts well, and that's Lucy Gadsby.
Yep.
When you look at her on her ski, she's very low. She drops really, really quickly into
Yep.
a squat, and she weighs nothing.
Not all, we call it dragging because they start on the whole shot lap in a straight line. A lot of the riders go down and put the weight out the back of the ski. Lucy does it right from the get-go because she knows she's got a weight disadvantage in terms of getting the weight down on the pump, but it also gives her an advantage in terms of power to weight ratio to go on the B of the bang.
Lots of different aspects on the start. What we do know is that it always is one of the most important parts, and it is always incredibly exciting. So as you can see, we've donned our life jackets and we are out on the jetty for the best view in the house, because we can see not only the start but the finish as well. And what a race this is going to be. 4-stroke stocks, wow. Some big names in this.
Rob, this is pretty quick. This is as close as you like, this type of racing. We've got Lewis Aitken taking on James Bushell, taking on David Rapp, taking on Adrian Wilson and Richard Cable. And then there's other riders that could cause an upset. Amy McPherson, for instance.
Bushell's race, surely.
Not necessarily.
Why'd you say that?
Well, Lewis Aitken's been looking fast and strong all weekend, so flip a coin. Yeah, Lewis Aitken's going to take it.
Right, there we go. Let's find out. They're lining up. So let's have a look. They're on again. Be cautious this time. The finger is pointed, the whistle is blown, and they're off. Oh, and Bushell's just off to an absolutely flying start there. He's incredibly quick off the start line.
He went on the B of the bang, Rob. That was unbelievable.
Wow, and we lose everybody in the spray there because there is some serious power on that water. Who is going to emerge in the lead? And for my money, it's got to be James Bushell. So they come back into view, and let's have a look who is in the lead. It's the 158 boat of James Bushell. You can see the sleeves on his arms there flapping with the speed as he comes around the corner, takes that yellow buoy. We lose sight of him. Wow, this is the place to watch.
And Lewis Aitken's right behind him. And that looks like, is that Richard Cable in the third place?
It was Richard Cable in third, David Rapp in fourth. Oh!
Steve Davis on the 888 going through it.
They're almost coming sideways under the finish arch there, and it bent itself then.
It did.
And Lewis Aitken, 118, we saw that he had a problem on the start.
Oh, the poor guy.
Clearly that problem's carried on.
I think his ski's gone into limp mode.
Let's have a look now at our race leader coming through under the arch. He sets up for the corner as he comes through. It's James Bushell. You can see the speed and skill of this man as he goes around the two red buoys there. And the distance between him and second place is currently massive. There is an awful lot of power in these machines, and it's very interesting just looking how well spread they all are. You know, we normally see a little bit of bunching, and look at this coming through the finish arch now. There is 1-2-1.
Adrian Wilson. Oh, Wayne Bedford's retiring. They're falling like flies, Rob.
Wow, the man from Rother Valley, he's not happy. Back to the action now as we see the numbers dropping in the race and the spaces starting to open out. Oh, and we have a problem now. Let's have a look at this. The arch has collapsed in the wind. That's going to be a problem. They're going to need to go around the outside of that, obviously. Cannot risk going through the middle of it. And that is now a bit of a hazard. Is there going to be a red flag? Somebody coming on the outside there. So keen, the marshals And the judges, as they go through there, no option other than to take the wide route, but that is going to cause a difficulty. Hard to follow what's going on, but it's been a very fast and somewhat exciting race, this one.
It has. Richard Cable's hung on to his second place, David Rapp third, Adrian Wilson fourth, and then Amy McPherson coming over fifth.
Let's have a look now. So Amy McPherson
with James
there.
Bushell right behind her.
And James Bushell goes through there, doesn't take the arch. He takes the checkered flag. I don't know if he's actually seen it. Did he actually see it? He still thinks he's racing. He's gone back round again for another lap.
He was concentrating on the arch so much he didn't see the checkered flag come out on the tower, and that's race over, but he's doing another lap anyway.
So, I'm not going to call that a comedy of errors. It wasn't errors, there was just a little bit of misfortune that made that a very, very interesting race.
Well, it was an interesting race because we lost two boats at the wrong time, and James Bushell had it all to himself.
So there's, by my reckoning, there is Richard Cable in second, Dave Rapp in third. And then we will have, coming across the line now, unaware that he's done an extra lap and that he has actually already won, it's James Bushell. So the end of round 2 in the runabout 4-stroke stock class sees that man James Bushell continue to lead the championship standings on 288 points. Second place goes to Lewis Aiken on 246 points, closely followed by Dave Rapp on 245. With James Bushell missing round 3, this leaves the door wide open for Lewis or David to take the place at the top of the championship. James, a bit of a walk in the park that, it almost looked too easy.
Yeah, I say last race I was testing some new parts and it didn't work, so I just changed back to kind of what I know. So yeah, obviously Lewis had problems, so it was a fairly easy race, to be honest with you.
Brilliant start for you.
Yeah, wasn't too bad. I don't know where the rest of them were. I was trying to look around to see where they were, but I couldn't even see them, to be honest with you. So just concentrating on what I was doing, and then yeah, won the race pretty easy.
So important to be able to get in the front going out for that first corner, isn't it? What's the key to that good start?
Yeah, good start. Yeah, if you get in the front, it's an easy race, to be honest with you. Sometimes I like it to come from the back if it's a good course and you can come through the package.
So round 2 comes to an end, and what a fantastic weekend's racing it's been here at Crosby in Liverpool. Round 3 of the JSRA Tour, well, that takes us further up north to Avos Preston. See you then.